Hello, I'm Shay. I will be conducting the sleep study today. Uh, that's because I'm not any sort of doctor or professional yet. I'm just a student. That there isn't anyone here to supervise this study. I was sent completely on my own for this one. But I have done and overseen many other sleep studies done. This is just the first one I'm being sent to do alone. If you're uncomfortable with that, I can get someone that isn't a student to conduct the study instead. Okay. Well then, let's get started. Before anything else, I'm gonna ask you a few questions on how you're feeling, just to be sure it's alright to move forward with the test. So if you're at all stressed out or you don't feel like continuing at all, please let me know and we will stop immediately. If you cancel the entire study, though, the refundable cancellation fee will not be returned to you, in a normal case, at least. Since I am only a student, if anything goes wrong, you will be refunded and likely compensated. Yes. Well, before I can get my license, one of the things I have to do is perform a study on my own with no guidance. I'm sorry, were you not aware that this would be done by a student? That's not good. Do you happen to remember who it was that checked you in, or what they look like? I'm really sorry about this, but that sounds about right. I'm so sorry nothing was explained to you. You came in here to relax and sleep. You should never feel rushed at all. Would you like me to brief you before we continue? You really should have been informed about everything that is going on here before I even walked into the room. This is not your fault at all, and I'll be sure to let my boss know about your experience, okay? Alright. And again, before we continue, please let me know at any moment if you would like to stop. Thank you. Now, what you should have been told was that the study you had signed up for to be a part of was cheaper because it will be done by a student without a mentor present. Because of that, I'm sure you were made to sign a lot of papers before coming in. Right. They're supposed to explain to you why and what you're signing all of those for. I'm so sorry you were put in that position. Student sleep studies, they're very low risk. Once a student is by themselves, they're able to do that all alone. It's completely fine. This is because a student is only allowed to work on their own 1, maybe 2 times, if needed, as a part of getting their licensing. Most people don't really go with that option because they think of it as being a low quality service or high risk of injury due to the use of magic, but I assure you that they would not allow anyone to be in the care of another if they were not safe and that person is capable. They should also have informed you on any and all safety risks as well. There really aren't a lot anyway, but the bulk of what that really should have been was just letting you know pretty much what I just explained, actually. The safety risks. Like I said, there really aren't a lot at all. Before you were accepted into the program, you had filled out a form detailing the types and forms of comfort that you prefer, correct? Right. So what that does is when we get that form, we will match you with who's best suited to your needs. I have access to that form as well so that I can give you the best and most accurate treatment I possibly can. I believe you had put down that you associate calm and relaxation with colder temperatures and light physical touch, correct? So because of that, I was matched with you. Of course, given that I am salient, I am a exothermic reactant, or a nice magic user. Either way, I will be able to cool down the temperatures of anything in the room, like the pillow you'll be sleeping on, or even your entire body temperature, or just parts of it. whatever you prefer. What this study does is to see the way that magic affects the human body while you are asleep. If it is harmful or beneficial in any way, your sleep patterns will be tracked, as well as your heart rate and breathing. Of course, you are salient as well, so naturally you will have a sort of safeguard against the magic while you're asleep. That is another thing we'll be looking out for. Any discomfort, struggles, you may even use your magic in your sleep as a defense if it becomes too much, but you usually wake up before then. Some people have a weaker defense than others, and there are some different types of magic that are allowed through, as opposed to other ones, usually healing magic. However, it's possible but uncommon that can be stopped as well. Say you're passed out and in need of healing, or you're in any sort of danger and you're just not awake. Healing magic would of course have to be used on you if needed, but if somebody has a more rare type of defense or safeguard, that can be really difficult. Not impossible. Most people's aren't that strong, but that is what we'll be looking out for. The purpose of having someone help relax you and put you to sleep is to see what kind of magic is allowed through your safeguard when you have your defenses lowered, and how that affects your body and your magic. Really just to study your natural reactions. There will be multiple rounds of this, as you were told when you signed up. The first night will be the furthest into your comfort zone, so you can be the most relaxed. The further we are into the study, the farther you will be pushed outside your comfort zone. Again, our goal is to just study your reactions. It is not to make you feel unsafe or in any sort of danger. We can stop at any time you need. You just need to say so, alright? I think that was everything. Any questions? Well, that is completely up to you and how you're feeling. There isn't any time limit on when you fall asleep, so no need to worry about it. Even if you don't fall asleep at all during the active part of the study while I'm still here, that is completely fine as long as you're feeling relaxed. However, you are still required to sleep here for the night and also the following nights until the study is completely over. Yes, during the day, you're free to leave and go wherever you want as long as you're back here before the next test by 9 p.m. It did say that you'll be here for 2 weeks, but testing usually ends before then anyway. 2 weeks is just to give us enough time to test all the different magic types with a bit of leeway. If there are any nights where you need a break, you just have to let us know at least 5 hours in advance. You're in complete control of yourself and your time. Oh, there's no need to feel rushed at all, no worries. We've technically already started. The first part is to just try and get comfortable with each other by engaging in general conversation. The topic normally ends up being about the study. Most people apply out of pure curiosity, so feel free to say or ask anything at all. Well, healing magic may or may not be used. My job is to make you feel as comfortable and relaxed as possible. Say you are sore in an area, you just have general pain anywhere, I can relieve that even for a short amount of time. To be able to work here, you have to have a license and at least a minor healing anyway, so no matter what happens, you'll be in great hands. There's also a medical team dedicated to any emergencies as well. How are you feeling about all of this right now? Do you still want to go through with it? Oh, great. I'm glad. Again, I'm so sorry for the experience you had earlier. I'm hoping I'm able to make it up to you once the practice starts. No, not at all. It's my favorite part of this job, actually. I love making people feel relaxed and good about themselves. It's very important for a healthy body and mind. I love what I do. Oh, if I could just do that portion of the job for a living, I would take that opportunity in a heartbeat. You're right, though, there are similar job positions, but the researchy science aspect of it is interesting to me as well. The paperwork, not so much. I've only been working here for 9 months, maybe. This place is pretty new, as is the type of research. I'm not really sure. With the position I'm in, I don't think I'm really supposed to know, like, the end goal of the research of this facility, but it seems pretty harmless to me. We're really just relaxing people here. At least I am. Actually, what got you so interested to apply? I'm sorry life is stressful for you right now. It should really be a nice break from all of that, I promise. Yeah, most of the advertisements here are pretty vague. Sometimes we get regular humans applying too, so it makes the selection process a little more difficult. Oh, I almost forgot to ask you, actually. Was there anything that you're not okay with me doing? Any parts of your body, aside from the obvious, that you prefer I don't touch? Or even any certain types of physical touch you dislike? Perfect. I'll be sure to keep that in mind. Thank you for letting me know. Oh, well, in other parts of the facility, people do wear, like, scrubs and lab coats, probably, and all that, but in this section, we're instructed to just wear casual and comfortable clothing. Wearing anything that looks sterile or more official causes a large amount of people some level of anxiety or unease. We don't want to make you feel like there's some sort of power imbalance, or that if you touch anything, you'll break it. It's just to make you feel as natural as possible. The only reason why we provide clothes to sleep in is to prevent people sleeping naked. They became mandatory very quickly. Before we just said to wear what's the most comfortable for you, and that didn't last very long. Can I ask how you're feeling now? Just generally. Good. I'll be checking in with you multiple times throughout this process as well, but if you get too tired to reply, no worries. Just don't push yourself, alright? Great. Would you like to get started? I notice you're looking a little tired. That is a good thing. Yeah? Okay. So, first I am going to turn off the main lights and switch them to something a lot more easy on the eyes and comforting. There we go. It's a bit dimmer now, but the less light you have on your eyelids, the better. If it is still too much and it is too bright, I can either dim the lights or I can provide you a complimentary sleeping mask as well. Everything fine? Good. Throughout this, I'll be moving around you, doing various things to help you fall asleep, and at any point you're uncomfortable with something, just let me know. Perfect. Also, go ahead and lay down in any way that is comfortable to you in any position. If you need water, there's a cup right next to you. Feel free to get it. Feel free to get some at any time. Okay. Comfortable? Good. To further relax you, I'm gonna ask you to take some deep breaths. In your nose, like this, and out your mouth. Slowly. Good. Do as many of those as you can. Only a few. I don't need you lightheaded. You seem a little bit warm. I'm gonna cool down your pillow just a bit. How's that? Of course, a little colder. Good? Great. No, you wouldn't be able to hear anything. The more careful you do your magic, and the slower, the less sound it makes. Especially with lowering temperatures, it doesn't really make too much sound in the first place. But since you are laying on it to not disturb you, I do it as carefully and with as much precision as possible, as much focus as I possibly can have. And that helps it be a little quieter. Since I'm up here already, is it alright if I play with your hair for a bit? Perfect. I love having my hair played with. With fingers grazing my scalp. Just a little bit. It's especially nice when they get down here at the nape of your neck. Let me know if my fingers are too cold. Cold fingers on a warm scalp. Feels amazing. With the longer parts of your hair, I'm going to make little tiny braids. They won't be tight. I won't be pulling your hair in any way. Just folding your hair over each other. I'll take them out after, don't worry. You're doing great. Just focus on my voice and your breathing. That's all you have to focus on right now. Nothing else. If you have to move positions to get more comfortable, feel free to do it at any moment. You don't need to warn me, just do what you need to. It's completely fine. Laying here, relaxing, with a cold pillow under you, is really the only responsibility you have right now. I'm gonna keep running my fingers through it. I know you don't like your face touched. I won't go anywhere near it, I promise. Just your hair right now. How nice it feels. It's very soft. None of your boundaries are being pushed right now. And they won't be. You're treated with respect here. And you're safe. Your only job right now is to focus on you. Think about how you're feeling right now. The sensations you're experiencing. Tell me if there's any pain anywhere. Do you mind if I place my hand on you here? It's close to the pain, but... Alright. You can close your eyes. This should take me just a second. Just a bit of healing magic here. There. How does it feel? No, it's not strenuous. Not for such a little amount. It just takes a bit more focus, is all. Here. I'm gonna get some tangles out of your hair. Being as gentle as possible. While also massaging your scalp. Not pressing too hard. Just taking a small section of your hair. Starting at the ends and making my way to the roots of your scalp. Just massaging it a little bit. Let me ask before you fall asleep. After you've fallen asleep, would you like me to cover you up? I know some people just prefer to stay on top, but personally, being under the covers makes me feel more protected and safe. Yeah. Alright. I'll make sure of that before I leave. Okay. I'm gonna move to one of your free hands. No need to move at all. Is it alright if I massage them a bit? Thank you. holding your hand face up, just very lightly by the wrist, while I work my thumbs into your palm, not too hard. You deserve the time to yourself, time to relax, time for you. Taking the time to relax is just as important as work. It is never a waste of time. People are made to feel like their health isn't important, but it is probably the most important thing. It should always be one of the things that goes first, above everything else. Your health matters most. I'm almost done with this hand, getting every finger thoroughly. Your hands are very tense. You must be a really hard worker, or at least very stressed. I noticed that when I was playing with your hair too, and for full transparency, I was using healing magic while I was doing that. I'm sure you could feel it. Like I said earlier, I'll be using different types of magic during the study. Your body temperature rose a little when I commented on how tense you are. If I were to guess, you probably feel like you don't work hard enough. I've noticed that people that work too hard tend to feel that way. You're enough. You're trying your hardest. No matter how incompetent you feel, you're doing enough. I promise. It's okay to feel stressed sometimes. That feeling is not permanent. Everything will work out. Whatever you're worrying about, that feeling won't last forever. It's gonna be okay. Your health is still just as important. It's not a burden to you or to anybody else. If you need something and you have to ask something of other people, that's completely fine. It's not a bad thing to ask or to need things. Everyone does. You're not a bad person for needing things. I've lowered your body temperature just a little bit. Just enough that it's comfortable, but not cold. I'm gonna start on your other hand here. I'm glad that you chose to sign up for this. You made the choice to step away and to take a break. That is not something you just wanted. Relaxing is a need, a necessity. Remember, relax your shoulders if they're tense, and unclench your jaw. I like to imagine when I go from your palms to the tips of your fingers that I'm taking all of the stress from your body and slowly pulling it out right from your fingertips. Try to imagine that. Every time you breathe out, a little bit of stress goes with it, and every time that you breathe in, just a bit more calmness settles in you. Sometimes it's too hard to do your best at something, and that's okay. It happens. You're human. It's temporary. Bad days are easier to remember, but that doesn't mean that good days don't happen at all. They do. And you've had many of them. They're in there somewhere. Be proud of what you've done so far. Even if you aren't proud of what you've done, or with how much you even did just today, that's just fine too. You still deserve treatment like this. You don't have to earn rest. That is something that everyone should be allowed. It isn't something to be earned. If you need rest on more days than others, I know that sometimes you can't, but when you can, it's best to listen to your body and to know your own limits. I'm sure that some of the things I'm saying aren't accurate. They may not be useful to you right now, but maybe they will be in the future. If I say something that doesn't apply to you, that's just fine. If something happens to fit with how you're feeling, good. Take what you need from what I'm saying. If you don't benefit from it at all, though, just leave it behind. Be kind to yourself, the way you are to others. You deserve it just the same as they do. Whatever it is in life that you want to do, you're in control of yourself. Some things may be out of your control. Some things are just like that. Let go of the things you can't control. Needless stress about something you can't change. Accept the fact that it is out of your control, and you can learn to let them go so much easier, and even work around the things that you can't change. At this moment, you're okay. You're safe here. I'm very happy you chose this. I hope you're happy with your decision too. Everyone needs encouragement. There isn't anyone in the world that is able to do it alone all the time. It's normal to need other people. You never have to go through anything alone. I'm not here to judge you. I never would. I'm happy you're here. I don't expect anything from you at all. I wonder what my magic feels like to you. Running through your body. If it's a good feeling. Channeling my magic into someone for this long is always an interesting feeling. It just feels nice doing this to you. It usually does. Using your magic, feeling it release. It just feels right. Like the euphoria after a big stretch. Maybe not the best example. It's better than that anyway. You're doing perfect. Don't rush relaxing. Sometimes it takes longer than other times. I'll be here as long as you need me to. I'm just tracing little pictures on the back of your hand now. Letters sometimes. I wonder if you're trying to guess what they are in your head. I'll be a little quieter now. I've kept your pillow nice and cool. I'm sure that's helped. If you're still awake, if there are any parts of your body tensed up, let that tension go. There's no reason to hold on to it. I think I'll go back to playing with your hair for a while until you're completely in a deep sleep. And I'll be sure that you're comfortable. Thank you for listening to me for so long. I really do hope this helped, even at least a little bit. If there was any such thing as sleeping magic or just any direct magic to relax somebody, I would use that in a heartbeat for so many people. Everything is so stressful for a lot of people lately, but you just have to remind yourself it will not be this way forever. There are good things to look forward to amidst all the stress and worry. You have to try your best to remember all the good things too. Remembering the bad things is just way too easy. You end up focusing on it